What's up, y'all? This is SWV Reunited Season 2, Episode 8. Alright, now the link to the full episode is down below in the description box, so go ahead, hit that like button. Alright, first off, 1K subscriber giveaway. Must like, share, and subscribe. Alright, now, we're going to get into it, okay? Lily is pissed off that Coco don't want to meet with Brian. So Coco goes to Lily's room and she's knocking. And she like, who is it? And Coco's like, open up, it's me. She's like, what do you want? And Coco's like, okay, just open the door. So she opens the door. She kind of cried. She was like, so you ain't gonna let me in? You ain't even gonna open the door, huh? She was like, nope. She was like, you know what? I'm so tired of you always saying no to everything I say. Everything I ask for, you always say no to. So now I'm saying no. And Coco was like, alright, I came down here to tell you that I will meet with Brian. And Lily was like, you drunk? She was like, no, I just, I decided that I will meet with Brian. She was like, okay, now, Coco. Okay, I'm going to need you to let this shit go. That was 20 years ago, okay? It's time for you to be nice to him. We're going to work together. You need to be nice to him. Coco was like, oh, okay. Y'all know Coco, okay? It ain't going to happen. Anyway, so Coco ends up, Coco, Lily, SWV, the whole nine. Alright, they end up meeting with Brian. Now, Brian and Coco was trying to figure out, he's like, you know what, Coco, I liked you, but I have a relationship with Lily, and I have a relationship with Taj, but I never had a relationship with you, and I never understood that because I never had a problem with you. She was like, you know what, for you to not have, never even known me, you sure do go in the dang on media and do like stuff like Vibe and stuff like that, and be telling them that I'm a monster and shit like that. And he's like, what? I don't even do media. He was like, in 25 years, I've only done about 3 interviews. She was like, no, I know what I read, okay, and you said it. I remember it. I know what I read. He's like, well, bring it up then. And I'm like, yeah, why don't y'all just settle it by bringing it up, since it's some interview he did with Vibe 20 years ago. Why not just bring it up? And she's like, nope, I know what I said, and get out. Just get out. And Lily jumps up, and she was like, shut up. And she was like, no, you shut up. Shut up. Excuse me, Brian, can you just leave while I talk to these bitches? And they was like, why we gotta be bitches? Because you some bitches right now. Anyway, so she was like, Lily was like, look, I'm real sick of you going back and forth, with him. Y'all always saying no. Why can't we just get along and work with it and get over it? And Coco's like, nope, ain't gonna happen. I ain't working with him. Nope. And Lily was like, you know what? I'm sick of this, and I'm sick of, coming to my job every day. And I got other shit at home that I got to deal with problems with my daughter. I got a granddaughter now. I hate coming here. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to do me, and SWV can kiss my ass. They was like, what? And Coco like, it's big enough. So they end up calling emergency meeting. And Lily was like, what is this? And they was like, look, it was an emergency. She was like, all I see is y'all sitting down here chilling. She was like, we're the emergency, okay? And they was like, look, we got a show in Atlanta coming up. Like, you need to do that show. She was like, no, I don't know about doing that show. And they was like, what about the fans? Lily was like, the world wants to hear me, and they will hear me. I'm doing my solo act. They was like, well, can you at least do the show? She was like, I can't promise that. I can't promise that, and I'm done with SWV. I'm like, okay, Lily, you better stand your ground, honey, because them heifers is not going to take you serious. They're going to keep running over your ass because, yes, Lily is bringing up good suggestions. Some of that shit, they just got to let go. It's so old. Let it go. Let it go and make your money. You about to let personal issues from 20 years ago hold you back because you want to be stubborn and hold grudges. Let it go. Anyways, so after that, Coco ends up getting a phone call from Mr. Eddie George. Okay, now that's Todd's husband. She was like, why is Eddie calling me? So he's like, what's up, Coco? She's like, hey. And he was like, yeah, I kind of just want to know what's going on with Todd. You know, I've been talking to her. She's been down a lot. You know, I just really want to know. She was like, well, I think it's the problems with her vocals, you know, acting up, and she's just really down about that, and you know, she needs rest, but it's not all the way 100%. And he was like, yeah, I know about that. And she's like, and I also think it's because she lost her wedding ring. And he was like, yeah, but you know what? I'm going to come in there. I'm going to come there. I'm going to surprise her. And Coco was like, oh, I'm nosy. What's the surprise? He was like, wouldn't be a surprise if I told you now, would it? So he ends up showing up. And he got like this, you know, cupcake box. She's like, oh, you didn't eat it, did you? Hey, how you doing? And he's like, no, I didn't eat it. She opens the box, and it's a cupcake with this big-ass diamond, y'all. And he was like, you know what? You lost the ring, whatever. But I just want to ask you, will you remarry me? And he was like, did you even say... She was like, what did I say the first time? He was like, you didn't say anything. You were speechless. She was like, okay, well, now I'll say yes. Oh, yes, I'll marry you. So she's end up, you know, they end up deciding that they're going to have to get remarried pretty soon, like within the next week when both of them are free. Now, they got shows, okay, and they're trying to schedule this wedding right in between their shows. Not the best idea, but I mean, you do what you want to do. Anyways, so next is Coco. She's going to Lily. She go ask Lily, can she come back? I mean, and Lily is like, no, like I need some changes out of you. And Coco's like, what do you need? She's like, first off, I need you to work with Brian. Coco like, not gonna happen. Okay? And what I need for you to do is I need you to come on back. We got this show to do. Okay? We SWV, it wouldn't be right if you weren't there. Okay? You're not sick. We never do shows. Okay, with just the two of us, unless somebody is really, really sick. So you need to come on back. And Lily was like, you know what? Fine, but I still need some things out of you. She's like, what do you want? I need you to work with Brian. Coco was like, not gonna happen. I need you to talk to Corey. I mean, we need to do something about Corey, okay? I wanted a different manager. Y'all want Corey. We need to do something about that. And Coco rolls her eyes. And she's like, lastly, I need you to start singing downtown. And she's like, okay, I sing downtown. It's just, I ain't sang that song in so long. We can sing it when we go to Aruba. You know, I'm going to have to do practicing. I don't even remember the lyrics. He like, do whatever you want to do. Okay, you going to sing it. Anime. And, you know, Coco's like, I haven't sung this song in so long. My family is very religious. A lot of them don't even talk to me anymore because of how I made them look. Alright, so this has been a problem for me. Alright, so they go and they in the studio and they practicing downtown. And Corey's like, well, one, they were at a meeting, okay, and they was with Corey and they was waiting on Todd. And Corey was like, why is Todd late? Why would she even think that would be smart to plan a wedding right now? We got Aruba coming up. So, Taj comes in, and Corey was like, yeah, Taj, yeah, I don't think that was a good idea, you planning your wedding right now. She was like, well, I'm still going to show up to rehearsal, you know, I'm just, I'm not pushing anything back. I'm just doing it on our day off. This is when we can do it. He's like, yeah, but I don't think that's a good idea. So anyways, Lily ends up going to do her solo with Brian Morgan. Okay, that was the song that she was supposed to do about her daughter. And Lily, she's listening to the song that he playing, and she's crying. She's like, you know what? I don't think I can do it right now. He was like, what do you mean? I'm glad this made you emotional. This means that I did it right. But you need to go in there and you need to use your emotions. She was like, I just can't do it right now. So she ends up coming back, another day. And she ends up going in there, and he's like, you know what? I just want you to change. I want you to alter your sound on far. So she's trying to do it, and she's like, you know what? I just need a break. She goes out there, and she needs a break. She's out there like, she had to stand out there for a minute, and then come back in, and she got it right. So good, Lily. And she decided that song, she wants to basically just give all the proceeds to charity. So that was very commendable of her. Alright, so next is they're in the studio. And they are practicing downtown now. They really don't know these words. The only person that know these words is Miss Lily. And they were like, you sure that's your part, Lily? She was like, yeah, I sung most of the vocals on it. They was like, really? She was like, yeah, I sung most of the background on it. And Corey comes in. And they come sit down. And he was like, okay, y'all got everything ready? Y'all gonna be ready for Aruba and stuff? They was like, yeah. And then they start talking about the SBs. And he was like, the SBs? I knew nothing about that. And Todd just like, well, I set it up. And he was like, oh, okay. Like nobody was going to tell me. You didn't even come and ask me anything about it. And she was like, well, as long as I'm an adult, okay, I will be, if I feel like booking a show, I'm going to book a show. And he was like, no, that's not right. You can't just go ahead and do that without even, consult with me first. And she like, they might be your bitches, but I'm not. And I'm going to do what I feel like doing. Get over it, okay? And I talked to them. They had no problem with it. Y'all all down with it, right? They was like, yeah. It was like, shit, Corey should have got us this show anyways. This is what kind of shows we need to be doing, not them little rinky-dink shows that he be getting us. And, he was like, man, that's wrong. She was like, just shut up and get over it, okay? Chill out. Fall back. So Corey's like, man, no, that ain't right. He gets up, walks out. And she was like, what the heck is his problem? Next thing you know, Taj gets a text on her phone, and it's from Corey. And it said, Taj is a crazy bitch. And she was like, yo, how he thought he was sitting there texting Coco. And they was like, what did he do? And she showed him the phone, and he was like, oh my gosh. Then she was like, I'm sick of him. This is what I'm talking about. Corey comes in, she was like, dude, you better not even step in that door. Don't step in that door. And he was like, what are you talking? She was like, you sent that text, and you's a bitch. I'm here with my younger siblings, okay? Anyway, she was like, you's a B. You better not, I swear to, and they grabbed Coco and Lily grabbed her. I swear you better not walk in that door. You better not walk in that door, Corey. I'm not playing with you. He's like, what are you talking about? She's like, you thought you was texting Coco. Okay, you weren't even texting Coco and Lily. You was texting Coco, and that's your problem. You always going to talk about us to Coco. And he was like, your problem is with Coco. It's not with me. Really, Corey? Really? And she was like, you know what? What is my problem with Coco? She's not the one that sent me the text. You are. Okay, you little bitch. And he was like, man, like, you really, if you gonna do this, I'm sorry. She was like, no, you sorry because you got caught. And he was like, you know what, Taj, I don't believe you acting like this. You really tripping right now. She was like, no, I'm done with you. I'm sick of him. That. Taj like she didn't want to knock him out, but they was just holding her back with one hand. And she was, I'm done. Get out of here. You go. Just leave, Corey. I'm like, okay. Corey is really about to get fired now. Okay, Lily already wants you out. Taj, Taj wants you out too. That's it for you, boo. Okay. Coco can't even help you with this. Coco like, you know what? It ain't even about that text. Taj is holding some other aggressions against Mr. Corey. Corey, you gonna learn that. So that's it for this episode. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Jazz Sherman. And 1K subscriber gift giveaway. You must like, you must share, and you must subscribe. Let me stop being goofy, y'all. Y'all, thanks for watching. Peace.